Hello, I'm Ellen Hanak. I'm co-director of research at the Public Policy Institute of California. Today I'd like to talk to you about a very important issue for California's future: climate change. Climate change has been in the news a lot lately, and that news has not been good. Now, scientists have known for some time that the Earth is getting warmer and that sea levels are rising faster because the global economy has been releasing more greenhouse gas emissions into the atmosphere since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. The most recent studies are finding faster warming and increasing frequency of extreme weather events like droughts and floods. 2012 was the warmest year on record in the US, and drought caused major crop damage across large parts of the country. And events like Superstorm Sandy highlight the vulnerability of coastal areas to rising sea levels combined with these more variable weather patterns. Here at home in California, climate change poses major risks to the economy, society, and the environment. We're looking at more frequent inland and coastal flooding, more frequent wildfires, droughts, and heat waves, and diminishing mountain snowpacks, where we now store water for the summer months. Now, California recognized these challenges earlier than many other governments, and the state has been a leader in global efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Most notably, Assembly Bill 32, which was passed in 2006, set strict targets for reducing emissions by the year 2020. Implementation of this law, which is supported by a strong majority of Californians, is well underway. People are undertaking investments in energy efficiency, renewable energy, and lower emissions from cars and trucks. This past December, California launched its first auction for an innovative cap-and-trade program, which allows businesses to trade emission allowances. This should help reduce the costs of complying with AB 32. California's leadership in these areas is especially important given the limited action at the national level. But slowing the pace of warming will require global action. And we will also experience some amount of climate change even if these global efforts are successful. This is why preparing for the inevitable changes in the climate is also important. Here again, California has been a leader in what is called adaptation planning, or planning to reduce our vulnerability to rising temperatures, higher sea levels, and more extreme events. PPIC surveys show that most Californians are concerned about these types of changes, and both the state and many local governments have begun to plan for change. But much still needs to be done to reduce vulnerability. For example, large areas around the edges of the San Francisco Bay are susceptible to increased flood risk with a relatively small increase in sea level, about 16 inches, which is the amount anticipated by the middle of this century. In the map, this area appears in bright blue. This area includes major infrastructure like airports and roads, many homes, and many of the campuses of the region's leading tech companies. Combined with the kind of big storms we are also prone to here in California, we could be looking at our own Superstorm Sandy. Looking ahead, California needs to maintain momentum on efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. We're on track for our 2020 goals, but even greater reductions will be required in the decades to come. And we also need to move from planning to action in our preparations for the inevitable climate changes that lie ahead. Thank you.